Hey, what's going on, fellow money lovers and collectors? Welcome to another video. Happy day after Memorial Day. I spent way too much money yesterday, so I do have a good, little mix of bills. What are we doing? We're going through them to see if we can find anything that is more valuable or is at least collectible. So there's a bunch of stuff you can look for. That's the great thing about this hobby. It's like one of the best hobbies in the world, because worst case, when you go through your money and find nothing, you still got the same amount of money. So we'll start off with the Series 2017A $5 bill. This is one of the ones up on the block for redesign. So over the next 15 years, we'll see them at some point. The $10 bill is the first one, which coincidentally we got one. Nothing on the front there in the serial number. That's the first thing I look for, is just patterns and stuff like that. Issues with print, all that good stuff. Reverse of the bill, nice depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, which is the president on the $5 note, of course. Nothing they've changed design-wise since the early 2000s, so we don't have to talk much about that. Keep an eye out around kind of intricate detail points, around the lettering, and around anti-counterfeiting measures, like the repetitious fives, and right here in this corner as well, mainly for ink issues. 2017A $10 bill. First one to be redesigned, so we'll see those supposedly next year. Nothing in the serial number. Keep an eye out around the color changing ink. There is a contaminated inkwell error, which can also affect serial numbers and seals sometimes, where it'll usually appear darker due to the wrong type of ink toning being used. Nothing on the back, kind of same dealio. Keep an eye out around intricate detail points and stuff like that. Fancy serial numbers. Yeah, some 8s, some 5s. Nothing jumping out on the dollar here. 2021 series, so the newer series of $1 bills. Those are not going to be redesigned. Lots of it. Lots of excessive ink. You can see almost all of Washington's coat there, at least an outline, kind of a smudge. Looks almost like a thumbprint, sort of. If you can see Washington all together, though, this is due to wet ink transfer if it's sitting atop the back of the note. And that's when, of course, just wet ink from another note transferred. Or it could be kind of an excessive ink, like they just re-inked all the plates and printing material, machinery, and it just laid down an excessive amount of ink that bled through. Some 5s, some 2s, lots of 5s. Would have been nice if they were clumped together. Would have been even nicer if we had just 2 or 3 digits that repeated and were all clumped together. That would be a good repeater serial number. Nothing going on other than that. Back of the note, pretty beat up. Looks like it's been wet before. It's all wrinkled up. So condition's going to kind of detract a lot if it was collectible. And it makes it hard to tell if anything is collectible. Bunch of 3s going on. L for San Francisco. And 2021 series as well. Probably the best condition one so far, even with this little wrinkle here. These black marks up at the top. Hard to kind of see in here. I do have a light on them, but kind of this smudging going on. These are not ink errors. It's just from the little rollers from the money counting machine. Back of the bill, same deal. You'll see them on the back. A little bit more of that wet ink transfer. And nothing going on. Printed really nicely. Another Series 2021 series. Nothing jumping out. A little bit of a shift in the seal here, but really, really tiny. A little bit better ink issues. So, you can see they're common, of course. But if it gets really dramatic, you can actually make out most of the portrait. Those can be pretty valuable. Got ourselves a Tombstone note, as now I've been told it's aptly, I think is a great title for it. 1698 to 1719. So pretty cool. Kind of funky print on the serial number, too. You can see how the 9 sits a little tad low, so does the 8. Then it hops back up. Then the 7 sits a little low, so it's kind of funky. Kind of an odometer note, but kind of a jacked up odometer note. 2013 series. Speaking of which, Star Notes, 1, 2, 3, almost a broken ladder, but this one's really beat to crap, but really cool. Somebody wrote on it. They had $42. But speaking of Star Notes, which I love, somebody on a bunch of videos, I watch a lot of other people's videos, commented that they don't think they're going to be valuable, which I can agree with you there. A lot of them aren't currently. However, with the new LEPI system of printing and other things they're implementing, I think with design changes coming out especially, we can see that might be more true too, is that the technology is going to eliminate the need for them. So instead of having to replace blocks of bills that were jacked up in production with star notes or these replacement notes with these little stars, they'll be able to basically take whatever amount of bills and strap them together without them having to be in the same order. So they can kind of just eliminate screwed up bills, they eject them out of the process, and then they replace them interjecting other printed notes from other sheets. So they don't need to have star notes. And I think, yeah, it'll be a while, but they will gain value just for being what they are. And then, of course, ones with fancy serial numbers or ones that are really, really collectible, aside from being star notes, are going to be really, really valuable atop that. So anyway, I think it's really cool. In this one's case, the writing, you can see it's real beat up, doesn't even sit in a durable way. All folded up, back of the note, stained up. So this one, of course, has a lot to be desired. But if you watch my videos, you know I love star notes, so I'm going to set it aside anyway. 1888 on the end. Would have been cool to have a date note with month, day, then year, so we're only a little off. If we would have had like 06 instead of 61, it would have been June 1st, 1888. I would have loved that. Nice birthday note as opposed to that Tombstone note we found just a minute ago, which actually I'll set that aside too. It's more collectible, not valuable. Back of that one's not anything to call home about. 9s, some 3s, nothing else jumping out here. On this 2021 series, a little bit of a funky print on the actual series date on that S there, but it's super tiny. I have seen instances through other people where it's almost like a blob. Excess of ink went down, and those can actually sell for, in the case of a $1 bill, in like the $20 to $40 or $50 region in really good condition to the right person. 2017 series $1 note. A little bit of free blood on the back here. Nothing to talk about design-wise on $1 notes. They changed them in the late 70s, early 60s to add In God We Trust and really, you know, have a separation of church and state. But there's no design changes since then, so nothing to really speak on there. Like I said, they are redesigning a lot of denominations of Federal Reserve notes here in the U.S., mainly to add anti-counterfeiting measures, but also some tactile functions. So that is cool. But there's nothing to speak on design-wise. This one's the best condition note overall in the whole search so far. Nothing going on it, though. Still worth $5. $10 note, little bit of light print on this serial number. As you can see, much darker down here. Again, keep an eye out on 10s. Especially around color-changing ink and anti-counterfeiting areas. Nothing going on the back. Also keep an eye out around where the trees are on the depiction of the U.S. Treasury, which I love. There's a lot of times ink smears, in excess of ink, and if it's dramatic enough, those can be worth good value. Some 3s for days. 2013 series $20 bill. Little bit of like a counter stamp, Bank of America or something like that. You can see right above, looks like he's got a face tattoo. Little 2013 series, I'll go on. Beat up, good fold down the middle here. Little bit of excess of ink on the back. Beat up, but worth $20. Last but not least, 2017 A $20 note. Some 5s, some 2s, or well, 4s, if I can read right. Nothing really crazy. Little bit of crazy ink going on with the 20 here on the bottom. Just a little bit of excess ink going on. So keep an eye out for more dramatic versions of that. No luck there, but was close. Back of the note. Nothing really jumping out. Beat up here, and this is all damage. Fold down the middle, so don't get confused by damage versus collectability. What are we holding on to? Nice little Tombstone note, 1698 to 1719. I'll look that up, see if any, some gunslinger or some famous pirate or something was alive, and that's their, story left behind. Star note. We spoke it into existence, so I'm loving that. Having had a star note and actually quite a few banknote searches. They're more common than not, especially in the $1 denomination. But I love every star note. I'll look this one up. I'll put it in a comment if there's anything special about this serial number and this star note in particular. And other than that, I appreciate you coming to a video. Hit subscribe if you like collectibles like I do. Let me know in the comments what you've been coming across in your coin and banknote searches. Heck, if you found that storage auction unit that had gold doubloons in it, let me know. I love hearing about that stuff. So I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Have a great day.